Imagine this. You're playing your favorite video game, jumping over obstacles, collecting coins, and battling bad guys. Suddenly, you wonder, why is the hero called Mario? And who decided on that name anyway? Welcome to Believe It or Not, the show where weird is real and the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Bryan, and today's story is about the world's most famous video game plumber and how he got his name in the most unexpected way. Our story starts in the early 1980s, when video games were just beginning to take over the world. Kids weren't playing on Switches or PlayStations yet. Back then, the big deal was an arcade cabinet with a joystick and giant buttons. Nintendo had just released Donkey Kong in 1981. In the game, a little guy had to climb ladders, dodge barrels, and rescue his girlfriend from a giant gorilla. He could jump. He could run. But here's the funny part. He didn't even have a name. Players just called him Jumpman. But the creators at Nintendo wanted something better. A real name. Something kids would remember when they left the arcade. At first, they tossed around ideas. Should he be called Mr. Video? Or maybe something silly like Osan, which means middle-aged man in Japanese. Yup, that was almost his name. But nothing really felt right. Now here's where real life comes crashing into the story. Nintendo's American headquarters was in a plain old warehouse in Seattle. The man who owned the building was their landlord, Mario Segali, an Italian-American businessman with a round face, a thick mustache, and a temper to match. One day, Mario Segali stormed into the office. Nintendo hadn't paid their rent on time, and he was not happy. He scolded the team right there in front of their desks. The workers were a little nervous, but also a little amused. "Look at him," someone whispered. "He kind of looks like Jumpman, with the mustache and everything." That's when the light bulbs went off. Why not name their character after him? It was catchy, easy to say, and had a fun ring to it. And just like that, Jumpman became Mario. But the story doesn't stop there. Did you know that in Donkey Kong, Mario wasn't even a plumber yet? He was actually a carpenter, because the game took place on a construction site. You can even see in some scenes, he's holding a hammer in his hand. He only became a plumber 2 years later in the game Mario Bros, when pipes were added to the gameplay. Pipes, plumber, it just made sense. Also, when Nintendo needed a sidekick for two-player mode, they gave Mario a brother. But what should his name be? Well, right near the office was a restaurant called Mario and Luigi Pizzeria. And so, Mario got a brother named Luigi. And here's another fun fact. Mario is one of the only video game characters to appear in over 200 different games. Racing, tennis, Olympics, even dancing. He's been a staple of video gaming for over 40 years. So, from an unnamed Jumpman to the star of Super Mario Bros., Mario went on to become one of the most famous video game characters in the world. And number one in my book. And it all started with a cranky landlord banging on the door for rent. Now it's your turn to think about it. Imagine this. One random day, a landlord storms in, demanding rent, and suddenly, the world gets Super Mario. But what if the landlord's name had been Bob or Steve? Would kids today still be playing Super Bob? Funny to think about how sometimes history is shaped by the strangest coincidences. From Jumpman to Mario, this little carpenter turned plumber became a global superstar. All thanks to one grumpy landlord. Believe it or not. And speaking of plumbers, what's a plumber's most important job? Toilets, of course. Next time on Believe It or Not, we're flushing into the surprising history of the toilet. From ancient Roman sewers to high-tech Japanese bathrooms. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Until then, keep wondering, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the truth is weirder than fiction.